Hi, my name is Lyndsey Southall. I'm the Engineering Manager at Cabinet Homes. Let's take 5 to talk about the International Women in Engineering Day. So I kind of fell into it a little bit. I did a water and environmental management degree at University of Worcester, and when I came out from that degree I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do, so I joined an agency, and they found this job. A graduate drainage engineer came to me and said, "We've got this role." I was like, "What's that?" Gave me a little bit of background, went for the interview, and the guy, Jeff Charlton, at my first consultancy, he was great and said that he'd teach me, and what he told me about the role sounded really interesting, and that it was going to be varied and site-based. I started my career in consultancy, and we did a lot of engineering for different clients, but one of our main clients was house building, and I've just found it interesting, that it was varied and that I could get out onto site and actually go and see what you're designing, because a lot of the time when you're at consultancy you get stuck behind your desk, but speaking to the guys that I was working with at the housing developer, it sounded really interesting that you could get out there, and go and actually see it all being built and spend a lot of time out there with the lads, and you learn a lot. I'd say one of the most challenging sites that I've worked on was Beachfields in Newport, and that was challenging because when we started the site it was a 1 in 10 slope, so for an engineer that's like a dream, because we get to put all retaining walls in and it's a little bit more complex than you'd like standard flat site. They all have their challenges, but that one particularly stands out in my mind because also it was quite small as well, so it's constrained. So trying to get the best solution there, and actually I went for a drive around it a few weeks ago. It's quite impressive that we achieved that in that small space. It's really important that more girls come into the industry, because they have a different perspective sometimes, I think, compared to men, and I think women can add another dimension to things sometimes, and also I think Cameron Homes are doing a really good job of actually going into the schools and telling people about engineering, because I didn't know anything about it when I was at school, and it wasn't until, like I say, I graduated, came out into the big wide world, and someone said, "Oh, do you want to be a drainage engineer? What's that?" I think having that, telling people early on, or girls early on, that there is all these roles available in house building is great, and it will encourage more to come into the industry. And it's very varied, so every day's a school day for me. I'd say don't be put off that there's this perception that it's a very male-dominated industry, because there is more and more women coming into it, and it's not scary. And when you go out onto site and all these big burly men, they do listen. They do want to listen to your perspective, and yeah, I've learned a lot from them. I think it's really important to push the boundaries, bring more women in and close that gender gap, because it is a really exciting career. Thanks for taking 5 with me today.